Hi all, I have another very interesting game given by David Grosvenor. This is Leela ID 499 against Laser. So let's see, d4 from Leela. We go into the King's Indian defense. So pretty standard so far. Now c5, d5, rook e8, bishop f4, as though there's an interest in playing e5, a thematic break e5. That stopped with knight h5, hitting the bishop. And now black radically gives up the dark square bishop. B takes. We have knight going back. So an interesting imbalance there. Knight d2, knight bd7, white castles, king g7. f4. So white's still interested in this e5 break. Leela is a master of pawn breaks, so that's the one she's hunting. Queen c2, we have h6, bishop h4, queen goes back to c7. So it seems as though black's really trying to address this e5 break at the moment. Queen d3, b6, as though there's an interest in bishop a6 maybe at some point. Rook a e1, and now knight g8 is played. Now here, a really good move which amplifies the possibility of playing for the e5 break, a very instructive positional move. What would you play in this position if I give you 5 seconds? Okay, bishop g4. White is literally trying to take away the breaks for e5 by taking off this knight and then playing for e5. So we have rook b8, but for the moment there isn't a voluntary taking on d7, not yet. It's here after h3, knight gf6, hitting the bishop, that we have this decision. Bishop takes d7. So very, very interesting. We have bishop takes. And now e5. So this thematic break being played. So how is the follow-up? It's very nice to have this space advantage in the center. Leela plays g4, very aggressive stuff. a6, knight e4, making use of that lovely e4 square that's available. Black plays f5. We have knight g3. Also strong looking is e takes. This is also looking very plausible indeed. Very nice position there as well. But the knight goes back. King h8. e6, so a lovely pawn wedge in the center. Bishop a4. G takes, which seems to have a tactical snag, doesn't it? This position. G5, isn't this just winning the bishop? F takes, H takes. White plays now. You can guess. Bishop takes g5. Yeah, there's other aspects of this position. The bishop sacrifices itself. Now there's a key move here which helps justify this bishop sacrifice. Can you guess? Okay, rook e4 is played. Yeah, with this pawn wedge, it's very difficult to defend the black king. This rook could come to the g-file, so it's pretty dangerous to take here. Black tries to play a bit more safety with king safety with rook g8. But we have now rook h4 check, knight h7. And guess what here? What does Leela play in this position? Really aggressive stuff. Okay, Leela prepares to go an entire rook down by playing rook takes h7 check. But now the pawn wedge is even more amplified, even more aggressive pawn chain, super aggressive after this check. Rook g6, f7, depriving the g8 square of the other rook. Queen c8, so the defensive resources have already been cut off here by this pawn wedge. White was threatening f8 queening there, you know, for example here, f8 queening. So black is prepared to give up the queen there against f8. But Leela doesn't play that yet. She plays rook f5, king g7. And now king h2, which unpins the knight, of course, for knight h5 as an example. Queen h8. And now rook h5, hitting that queen. There's no time for rook takes because that's check. Queen takes g3 is check. That would be devastating for black. So rook h5. We see black playing rook g8. the queen is taken, rook takes, and now knight f5 check. And although you might think the two rooks are a match for the queen, guess what Leela plays here? Glorious move. If I give you 5 seconds. Okay, knight takes e7 is possible, hitting the rook with the queen as well. The game ended here. If king takes e7, queen takes g6, this is devastating for black. For example, like this, queen g7, and then that's mate. And the radical move is suggested here, which doesn't really help. Queen g7, ignoring it even, and this is just devastating. So yeah, absolutely crushing game there. This pawn wedge in the center, which was facilitated with bishop g4 taking on d7. The lovely bishop sack, getting even more extended pawn wedge after the rook exchange sacrifice offer. So the exchange sack on h7, which was made to really extend this pawn chain so aggressively. Yeah, so a wonderful dynamic game there, making use of space and super aggressive pawn wedges. Hope you got a kick out of this one, as I did. Comments, questions, likes, shares appreciated. Thanks so much.